At 84, Nalongo Precaria Nampuma is quite astute. She recalls events that happened a long time ago. At times, she informs us that she will not answer a question, not because she does not know the answer, but because we are at a lower spiritual level than she is. She's a resident of Mugoye village, Mugoye sub-county in Kalangala district. In the Buganda Kingdom, the district is known as Sese County. For almost her entire life, Nampuma has been a guardian of a tree which traditionalists believe rules over all the 84 islands of Sese County. Omuti Sese is a mukebu tree, also known scientifically as Cordia millenni.
Where did you spend the night? Who did you spend the night with? Who did you sleep with? You should not have sex the night before you visit the tree. A woman on her period should not bother to come here as well.
Luckily, although we spent the night in one of the many lodges that dot Bugala Island, none of us had a sexual partner.
If you're lying to me, the tree will tell me whether you should come back or not. Recently, I noticed that some bad behavior might have occurred near the tree because there was terrible thunder near the tree, but no rain. We have had the thunder 3 times this week.
The old woman informs us that she is collecting firewood to light up the altar of the tree site. She also plans to report the criminals to Jaja Sese, the spirit that lives in the tree.
I am going to spend the night lighting the altar with my people. We are not witch doctors, just guardians of the tree.
When Nampuma was just a girl, her relatives informed her about an altar which they claimed at the time was over 200 years old. The altar is called a Choto Chamugoye and it is next to Omuti Sese. They encouraged her to light it, which she did with a matchbox and then left the island for school.
I attended a school in Chisubi and then I was married off. However, Jaja Sese was not happy that I had been married off. He instructed me to leave the marriage.
The 84-year-old woman has given her life over to the spirit to use as he pleases. Being the guardian of Omuti Sese is the heritage of the woman in her family.
This tree is about 150 meters tall. My ancestors and the people of the islands used to perform rituals here. Some people still come here for blessings.
Omuti Sese stands proudly in an enclosure measuring 100 meters. Previously, though, the entire surrounding area measuring 30 acres belonged to the tree. However, modernization on Bugala Island brought land grabbers, who Nampuma says include the Uganda Prison Service. As we approach the enclosure, Nampuma cautions us to remove our shoes as we are approaching sacred ground. We ask for permission to film the tree and she agrees that we might see the tree in the video footage or not.
Dear grandparent, the grandchildren here come to pay a visit. Please welcome them.
Several worshippers of the tree flock here to ask for blessings in their business endeavors and trips abroad.
Some people leave an offering of money. I do not touch that money. That money has owners who come from Bunyama Island to pick it up. One time, a certain man stole that money, but he almost died.
Although inhabited by humans, residents insist that Bunyama Island is a haven of spirits that appear seasonally in the form of rats. The rats come in different colors and species. Nampuma has accepted the fact that her end is near. She is worried though about what will happen to the tree when she joins her ancestors.
There are people from my father's family who will inherit the rituals when I die, but I am sure that they will make mistakes.
She is reluctant to talk about why the mistakes will be made or how. However, she calls for the islanders to conserve Omuti Sese if their prayers are to be answered. Christopher Luye, a resident of Kalangala Elsuan Village, Zone B, Kalangala Town Council, says the different islands in Sese County have rules and taboos that govern them. However, nowadays, not many of these traditions are being upheld.
Omuntu bwe yavanga ku lukalu eri gye bayita mainland.
When someone is coming from the mainland, before they set foot on the islands, they should first take a drink of water from the lake. It was believed that this water would cure headaches and sicknesses. Few people follow this tradition though.
Mu nnyanja.
Brides were encouraged to change into different clothes before they ride to the island for a honeymoon.
Bwe watuukanga ku nnyanja oba okulinnya feri eyo baakuggyangako.
They were only allowed to rewear their bridal attire once they had safely stepped on land. There should be a signpost at the landing site to guide people on this behavior.
It is rumored that there is oil on Fomvwe Island, and some residents attest to it. Although several district officials have tried to grab land on the island, which is privately owned by the Kabaka of Buganda, Lubuye says they have failed to do so because of the many taboos. There is also rare species of trees in the district, such as the Nagomala and Omunaba trees. These trees cannot be used for cooking. One is encouraged not to carry a piece of wood from these trees into their cars or businesses because they invite bad luck. It is believed that if one uses Omunaba for cooking, lightning will strike their home.
Wano tewafuuyisibwa muntu yenna.
We are not allowed to urinate in Kibanga forest because if you do, your private parts will disappear when you are asleep. You can only regain your private parts after you perform rituals on Bubembe Island, the women's island.
Kizinga Bubembe mu mwalo gw'abakyala.
Bubembe Island hosts the main temple of Mukasa, one of the most important and widely worshipped gods, or Lubale, in Buganda folklore. Mukasa is the guardian of Lake Victoria, in which the 84 islands of Sese County fall. These traditions and taboos have helped to preserve trees on the Sese Islands. Patrick Senyondo, NTV.